Did my 22m best friend, 23m, go too far when he tied me up as a trust exercise? So me and my best friend from college are very close as we both just got out of serious relationship breakups. We're both straight and we have both been classified as fuckboys on numerous occasions, to give you an idea. But we calmed down after graduation and started dating our respective girlfriends. We both went through breakups for our IWN reason in the past month. Anyways, we were having a heart-to-heart and I got emotional. He started rubbing my scalp and said something like, "I want to do a trust exercise. Do you trust me to take away your senses?" And I said yes. He left the room and returned with a roll of shiny silver duct tape. He began wrapping it around my ankles, then my wrists. At this point I was confused, but I just went on with it. He then gently told me to open my mouth and shoved a balled-up sock in it before wrapping JT around tape, then blindfolding me with a piece of tape. I was basically laid out on a couch with my ankles and wrists completely taped. I was gagged, and blindfolded with tape. He told me not to move and to trust him that it'd be okay. I don't know where he went, but after a few minutes the door closed. I laid like this for 15 minutes before beginning to get uncomfortable, but I knew how important this exercise was, so I didn't try to get free. About 20 minutes in he showed up and slowly peeled the tape off my eyes, ankles, and wrists, leaving the sock taped in my mouth as he started crying and told me he just wanted me there to listen and not speak. He started crying about how much he could trust me and vice versa while petting my piece of duct tape covering my mouth. I felt bad, but at this point I couldn't continue. I removed the gag and told him I needed water. Then we watched a movie while he didn't think anything of my 30 minutes I spent completely helpless. I was kind of weirded out. What was his mo with this? What should I do now? That's not a trust game, that's his fetish, and no, don't allow it again. You did not give him consent for a fetish act. Wow. That's weird as fuck. Like the other commenter says, this could be dangerous. Do not do this again. So, this is exactly how Jeffrey Dahmer started with his crimes. Do with that information what you will. In any case, he used your vulnerability to his advantage to act out his fantasy. This is what predators do. What in the flying fuck did I just read? Dude, get a new friend and never be alone with this guy again. Yeah, that's deranged. Way beyond the boundaries of friendship and on the way to sexual or homicidal. Am I, F33, selfish for telling husband, M30, I want a nice honeymoon after losing our baby? We conceived 6 weeks after our wedding and lost the baby at 12 weeks. Originally planned a nice honeymoon but scaled back plans after finding out we were expecting. Now we've lost the baby, it would be nice to have a nicer one. Honeymoon contributions were our wedding gifts from guests. It was our original plan to use it for a honeymoon. I started looking into options well within our price range based on what we had received, and my husband turned them all down, saying it was all too much. I'm so confused as I was originally the one conservative about budget. I'm heartbroken about our loss and feel like one lavish, affordable thing is probably what we need. We are fine for money, and by the time we conceive again we will be even better off. So we don't need to save excessively if it were to happen soon. Are you sure he's not still depressed and grieving? Maybe he's just not ready to go to a vacation place while feeling so sad? I think he's not ready for something like that. You both are handling the loss differently. My guess is that this has little to do with budget and a lot to do with the fact that he isn't feeling due to grief. People grieve differently. You are looking for a change of scenery to take your mind off your loss. He might be too depressed to contemplate doing anything fun. Maybe the honeymoon reminds him of a better, more hopeful time and he can't stomach that. You need to find a way to support each other while also looking after yourself through this grieving process. You're not selfish for wanting a nice honeymoon. You are, however, extraordinarily dense if you think this is about cost. From what you've written here, your husband is likely grieving the loss of his child. It's bewildering and concerning that this hasn't seemed to cross your mind at all. Talk to your husband. Is my friend, 23M, right about my 23M racial preferences being racist? I, 23M, mostly prefer to date black and Asian women, and in the past, these are the only women I've ever dated. Now, the reason why I prefer to date these women over other races isn't because I have a fetish for them or because I think that they're fundamentally different than other races. The main reason I have this racial preference is because of aesthetics. I legitimately just think that Asian women and black women are more attractive and look better than other races of women. That's it. I don't have any preconceived stereotypical notions of how they act or anything, like how some men think black women are kinky or Asian women are submissive. I just think that their unique physical features look nice. I was talking about this with my friend, who is white, the other day, and he seemed really weirded out by this. I asked him what was wrong, and he claimed that I was fetishizing these women. I tried to defend myself, but he wouldn't hear me out, and he just ended up changing the topic of the conversation. Am I fetishizing black and Asian women by having a preference for them because of how they look? You can't force yourself to like something you don't like. Everyone has preferred things, why would that not apply to people as well? Don't worry about it so much. In a vacuum, it's not wrong to have racial preferences. It only gets weird if the preferences are rooted in various stereotypes such as examples that you listed. But simply being more attracted to certain features or exclusive to certain races isn't wrong. Are you homophobic because you don't fancy men? Same difference, of course you're not. Everyone has certain features they find attractive. I think it's silly to call you racist over this. I know a guy that only likes obese women. One that only dates blondes natural or fake. My niece only dates men based on personality. People like who they like. Does it really matter? Date who you want. For whatever reasons you want. Just treat the people you date well. My girlfriend F28 might have cheated on me M29 tonight. So to start, we got engaged last month after being together for over 9 years. She F28 seems happy about it and is in full swing of arranging everything already. I M29 felt though that she's been different since it happened, though I can't describe why. Anyway, she went out last night for St. Patrick's Day as she's Irish. I was in work so couldn't go. She comes home at past 5 a.m. after telling me she was getting a taxi at 3:30 a.m. Now here's where I'll rightfully get judged and I hold my hands up and say I'm wrong to do this, but I looked at her phone when she got home. She has a trip from Uber to some random house just outside our city. Her last call is to someone called Harry who as far as I'm aware she's never spoken about. She's also got a little shamrock emoji next to his name. I'm aware that should I confront her with any of this, I could be wildly wrong and it could end up very bad. I'm also aware that if I do it will then be known that I looked through her phone. What should I do? Should I confront her about it? Am I being paranoid? I don't expect it from her, but something just felt off tonight when she rocked up home at 5 a.m. with no texts saying she'll be late or anything like she usually does. Too long did not read. I went through my girlfriend phone as she came home really late from a night out without letting me know, which is unusual. Ask her about her night and if she had trouble finding an Uber. Ask her if she met any cool people and what they all got up to, be interested. You know some details, and if she doesn't mention them then you know she is hiding something, and it probably ain't good. Yeah, visiting randoms at 4 a.m. is always a good look face with rolling eyes. Did you catch this Harry's message history? Unless her reason is airtight, call the engagement off until you decide on your path forward. It's not a damn crime to look at your partner's phone. If we trusted people 100%, then the world wouldn't have audits. You looked, and you noticed something suspicious. Now act on it. The end. Don't tell her any details, but ask her about her night, and if she lies to you about any details you already know, then you know she went to Harris' place to fuck. Too many of these answers are beating around the bush. And looking at someone's phone after sketchy behavior and something being off if isn't great, but it is what it is. Don't let her use that to deflect from the issue at hand. Tell her directly that her attitude has been off for a while. And why did she Uber to Harry's house at 3:30 a.m.? I'd want direct, no-nonsense answers. And for me, Ubering to a guy's house in the middle of the night for 2 hours is cheating whether they really did anything or not. You have a lot of time invested in this relationship, so I understand not wanting to blow it up. But do you want to spend more time with someone who doesn't respect you? Good luck.